Sometimes it can be easy for us to see God as just far off, just observing his creation, but never directing it. But God isn't just a spectator to his own creation, but he's an active part of his creation. We can see that even just by looking at how Christ came and sacrificed himself for our salvation. So providence comes from the Latin word provideo, which means foresight or prior knowledge. But the word providence actually covers much more than just foreknowing something. It means to provide for what is needed. So God provides and sustains the universe. Providence is God governing in this world. With providence, God keeps all creatures in being, involves himself in all events, and directs all things towards his plan. So God's making provisions for our needs, and everything goes according to his plan and his will. Even when things seem as if they aren't, God is always working. So when a person acts or an event occurs, God is overruling in it. You can even look at the story of Joseph, where he is sold into slavery by his brothers, and then he rises through the ranks after being put in prison and is now Pharaoh's right-hand man, and he gets a chance to confront his brothers. And so he tells them, when they say that they are sorry for what they did, Joseph says that what they intended for evil, God intended for good. So you see that God intends and works things towards his good plan. Even when we don't see it, God is working. In Proverbs 16 verses 1 through 4, it says this. It says, "To humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. All a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. The Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster." So we see that God works through everything. He's not a passive spectator. He's an active participant in this world. He is governing over the world that he has created. And you see it also when Jesus talks about not worrying. In Matthew 6 verses 26 and 32 through 33, it says this. "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" So we see here that God provides for the birds of the air and also for us. And then it moves on to verses 32 through 33, where it says this. "For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." So I want to focus on the word given. These things are given to us. It's not something that we obtain, it's something that God gives to us because he is governing over us. So we don't have to worry because we're trusting in God's providence. In Ephesians 1, verse 11, it says this, "In him we were also chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of him who works out everything in conformity with the purpose of his will." So God works in his plan. This is all about him, his plan, his will, his governing over us. You see, God's works of providence are holy, wise, and intentional. We know that God is not just a spectator, not just an onlooker in his creation, as he governs over everything in this world, including you and me.